Now, Sierra Leone is a country that's known for its reliance on mineral wealth, including diamonds, gold, iron ore, and titanium. They've been exploited for decades, but the country and the people have little to show for it. And now the government, which has been in power for close to a year, wants to change the emphasis to agriculture. In a wide-ranging interview, I asked the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Dr. Alie Kabba, what the plan is.
We want to make agriculture fashionable. What we want to do is that Sierra Leoneans must be the architects of this new focus on agribusiness. By growing the value chain, we are going to make sure that we provide the technical education for our young people to tap into the value chain. In other words, we need to circulate the benefits of agricultural investment within Sierra Leone. And in the past, what has happened is that, and what we inherited is a case in which communities felt marginalized or disconnected from the major investment project in their communities. Yes, they own the land, and we want to make sure that those who own the land are the first to benefit from it.
There have been some ongoing commission of inquiries, and there's a particular one that is into the issues of allegation by the corruption, by the previous administration, and some of the officials have blatantly refused to participate, and they are claiming this is basically a witch hunt by the current government. Is it a witch hunt by the current government?
No. And I expect them to say that because they don't want to be held accountable. What we have done there is so transparent. We are a government that believes in the rule of law. All we are saying is that we need to make sure this is evidence-based. If you have to answer a question just about how you spent, $50 million that came in for this particular sector, just tell us. That's all.
Their complaint is that it is not evidence-based, that hence the reluctance to take part in the inquiries.
Look, everybody who is paying attention to what's happening in Freetown today will know that every day we are talking about evidence. You can't run away from the facts. And what we are doing is to make sure that we put an end to the era of impunity. A country that has gone through a lot, with money coming in for Ebola victims, those monies disappearing in the pocket of others who had no business misappropriating that money. When you look at mudslide victims who needed housing at that time, and money coming in and disappearing in the deep pockets of those who had this insatiable thirst to misappropriate public funds, they have to come and tell us. By the way, we need the money to invest in our teachers.
So what guarantees are there, or what guarantee is there that this inquiry will actually yield results?
It is very easy. We get the money from them, we put it into government programs. I am confident that at the end of the day, people look back and say, these commissions of inquiry help to put the country back on track, to give confidence to investors that when you come in, we are not going to misappropriate your funds, to let development partners know that we mean business when you say we are going to be the government to protect the interests of our people.
Let's move on to another subject, because the government has declared a state of emergency for what they're saying is a spike in rape, especially among minors. And we're talking about such alarming numbers, more than 8,500 cases recorded last year. That's a rise of nearly 4,000. What's going on in Sierra Leone?
This is the particular issue that the president looked at and said, we need to draw the line here for this reason. So what is going on? There's no excuse for this. That is it. Government says it's unacceptable, and because there's greater awareness now and the resolve of government, we are hearing more about it.
We don't know what the trigger is at all?
Well, I can tell you this, that you can look at it differently, but there's no excuse for it. We are refusing to even look at the... Look, you cannot do that because you came from a dysfunctional family. That is not an excuse. We are not going to entertain the idea that there's some rational explanation for it. This is wrong, and the president has made it very clear that we are going to deal with it head on and put an end to it and make sure that no girl in our country, no matter which part of the country you live in, will have to be afraid to go to school or to go to a health center because some idiot out there thinks that they are just there for their own satisfaction.